Hey everybody, in today's video I want to talk to you guys about the Senior Enlisted Marketplace and how this applies to our newest Chief Petty Officer Selectees. For the first time this year, our selectees and our newest chiefs will be part of the Senior Enlisted Marketplace. This is what it means to them and how we have to make sure that they're ready. First up, let's talk about traditional Senior Enlisted Marketplace. Traditionally, Senior Enlisted Marketplace is used to fill gaps in critical billets, and it's highly successful. It's filled those gaps. With Senior Enlisted Marketplace, to promote, you have to be willing to take one of those billets in the next higher pay grade. And we see this trend across the entire spectrum of Navy advancement, from our BBA rates to the Senior Enlisted Marketplace. For those who are selected for 8 and those who are selected for 9, they have a choice to make. Take that billet or don't get advanced. They've got 2 years to get into a billet and then they'll get promoted. How it works is they're selected for those orders in the next higher pay grade. They pass any operational duty screenings required. Prior to them transferring, they're frocked to that next higher pay grade. Once they report, then they're advanced and they get paid and their time and rate starts. So how is that different this year for our newest Chief Petty Officers when they're selected? Do we get to keep the Legacy pinning ceremony? The answer is yes. That's a super critical heritage item that we want to keep. Now, every single Chief Selectee will go through that 6 weeks of training and CPO season, and then they will culminate that with their Chief Petty Officer pinning. After which, they will have 2 years to get into an authorized CPO billet. There's a lot of considerations here. If they want to start their time and rate as soon as possible, maybe they try to get out of there and get to that billet quickly. If they're not so worried about that and they want more stability for their family, they can choose to remain on board. Remember, your DoD area tours still apply here. Normally, you got to do 12 months on a current command to be eligible for transfer. For special programs like RDC and recruiting, you got to do 18 months on board before you can transfer. So those thresholds may prevent you from transferring. Once they find a billet in that next higher pay grade, it turns into like the traditional Senior Enlisted Marketplace. They won't get paid or advanced until they report to that billet where they're actually working at the pay grade of chief. Largest difference with Senior Enlisted Marketplace for the newest chiefs is that they get to put it on without negotiating for orders. What that means is they will have 2 years to find an authorized chief billet, or they will go needs the Navy and be direct detailed to a program. There's a lot of considerations to factor in here. Where am I at in relation to retirement? Do I care about getting paid? Some chiefs, if they have less than 2 years before they retire, may choose to retire as a first class and first class in pay. There is a small window to retain your newest chiefs on board using what's known as ARA, which is basically a request for realignment to realign a first class into a gapped CPO billet at your command. I still get a lot of questions about this, so spread the word. Share this video with your newest chief selects, with your mess, with your officers in Wardroom, so everyone understands the career implications that our newest chiefs are about to step into in just a couple weeks. Thanks for watching.